Good afternoon from Grant Park in Westfield, Indiana, the site of this year's first ever Indiana Girls State Flag Football Championships presented by the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Kelsey Casper, thrilled to be joined by Jared Thomas for the semifinals of today's competition, where we have the Snider Panthers taking on the Penn Kingsmen. Now, Jared, this is our first game of the day, first flag football game. What are you most excited to see or experience watching these young women play in their first ever flag football championships?
I think it's going to be synonymous with what all these young ladies are feeling playing in the first ever postseason tournament for this flag football league. A lot of emotions are at bay right now. You feel like you want to be that person that goes and makes the game-winning touchdown grab or the game-winning interception. So you're trying to bottle all of those emotions and put them in the right way. But I think at the very end of the day, it's all excitement for us here in the broadcast booth and obviously for these young ladies as they go out and compete for the first ever state championship for their respective teams.
And how about the Indianapolis Colts for supporting this entire event and these programs all season? It's part of the Road to 100. Committing $100 million towards launching 100 girls teams across the state of Indiana, just for an NFL team to be able to invest that.
The truth of the matter is everything that you want to go a far distance starts with a vision. And when that vision does get to the point that it gets funding like the Indianapolis Colts have done, it can grow serious legs and go some pretty far places. And I just think it's the Indianapolis Colts being visionaries for what they truly believe in. They've pumped a lot of resources. They've pumped a lot of attention and eyes into this. And here we are with the first ever. So I can only imagine with what they've done now and how it'll look here in the next few years.
Well, it all starts right here. We are just moments away from the semifinal matchup between the Snider Panthers and the Penn Kingsmen. We'll step aside right here on Colts.com. Girls flag football action when we come back.
What's up, everyone? It's Zaire Franklin, Global Flag Ambassador and linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts. Girls flag football is officially an emerging sport in Indiana, but we need your help getting it to the next level. To make girls flag a sanctioned sport, we need 100 schools participating. Want to get your school involved? Visit Colts.com/girlsflag.
Just about a minute and a half away from action between the Snider Panthers and the Penn Kingsmen here in the semifinal matchup at Grant Park in Westfield, Indiana. Well, as high school girls flag football continues to grow, the Colts are continuing to support the startup and development of new programs through financial grants and equipment donations. To get your school involved, visit Colts.com/girlsfootball. Penn Kingsmen, first year in their program under head coach Jeremiah Maggart. They beat Terre Haute South 30-13 to advance to the semifinal match, and they are undefeated on the season, 11-0, only undefeated team remaining in this bracket. And they're facing the Snider Panthers, a second-year program under head coach Reggie Thorpe, a 10-1 season record. They went on to defeat earlier in the day, Harrison. It was a 2014 final score to advance to face Penn here at 4 o'clock Eastern. The winner of this game will advance to the championship being held right after this game. The other two teams still in this one, Lawrence North and New Prairie, take it off on the field behind us. But here we go, getting ready for the first snap of the semifinals. Snider in the black, Penn in their gold. Amaya Jackson lining up as the quarterback for the Panthers. She'll hand it off to Hurst. Back and forth, and her flag taken off. Good defense from Penn. It was Amani Reed taking off the flag.
See the amount of times that Snider tried to reverse, the Kingsmen tried to reverse field as many times as they did in the pursuit by Snider, being able to pick off that flag. A nice first possession and play for the defense.
Second down. We see our first pass of the game, and it's broken up. Olivia Dawson getting her hands on it, forcing a third down.
Just great anticipation. You see quarterback sets up. You see Snider comes in and gets the pass deflection. Probably could have had a potential interception right there, as I heard some fans encouraging the interception attempt there. Not able to, but still gets the ball down to the turf.
Kingsmen trying to get a first down. They need to get to the yellow cone on the field. The yellow lines are the first down markers. Jackson just going to hand it off to Hurst. Trying to make a move, still on her legs. And she's got a first down. Big third down run from Miley Hurst. Her flag finally taken off by Macy Little.
But we do have some laundry down on the turf back at the original line of scrimmage.
And it's going to be on the offense. I believe they called a legal procedure. So a big play taken away from Penn. And they'll replay third down. You see the running clock on your scoreboard on the screen. 2 halves, 24 minutes. Clock will not stop until the final 2 minutes. So anticipating a quick moving, fast game here on this Saturday afternoon. Jackson gets the snap. We'll see her arm again, going downfield, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Penn and taking it back. There's Macy Little.
Kelsey, a similar play that we just saw a few plays ago. Dawson going up, gets the PBU. This time, they actually go for the interception. Big momentum change after forcing a 3rd and forever. Get the interception and able to flip the field. Outstanding play from the defense.
Head coach Jeremiah Maggart said, we're going to hear Macy Little's name a lot on defense. She leads the team in interceptions this season, and she gets one on Snider's opening drive. So now great field position for Penn here, looking to strike first in the first half. See Quinn Driscoll lining up as the quarterback. Fakes a handoff. Instead, they go to Cammie Bauer on the outside. Flag is thrown as her own flag is ripped off by Amaya Jackson on the defensive end.
And I think they're going to get Marion Horvath, who looked to throw a perimeter block out on the edge, which is illegal. Cannot be a downfield blocker, can just try and get in the way as much as possible, but Horvath extended her hands and became a blocker, and they called her right there in the open field.
So Penn will replay first down. This is a Penn offense averaging 42 points per game. That is the highest in the state. And on the other side, they're only allowing just 4.
And you see exactly why when you hear that certain players' names are going to be called, Little being one of them. That explains exactly why they've only given up 4 points per contest. When you have defenders willing to fly around and put the betterment of the team before themselves, these are the type of results that you get.
We'll see Driscoll's arm, or rather her legs here as she scrambles. Flag ripped off by Miley Hurst. That'll bring up second down.
Driscoll doing a nice job eluding the rush of Amaya Keeseth. Breaks contain in the pocket, turns into a playmaker with the football in her hands. Although not the most yards gained on that play, still able to play ahead of the sticks within striking distance.
Driscoll overthrowing her intended target of Bauer. That'll bring up third down.
What we've already seen thus far, Kelsey, if that ball goes up in the air, not just the players on the field, everyone in the stands yelling ball because they know the impact and potential that you have when you get those interceptions when the football is thrown in the air.
Also, a maximum of 2 players can rush the quarterback. We've seen a lot of ball pressure here. Those quarterbacks got to be ready to scramble, stay on their toes.
At all times, which also means the receivers have to be ready to get their head around a lot quicker than normal if your quarterback like Driscoll is under duress.
Well, here's Driscoll looking to the end zone, and it's broken up, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Cammie Bauer. Great coverage from the Snider defense.
Great idea from Driscoll, throwing the ball to where the defender just left as they blitzed her, just not able to connect with Cammie Bauer in the back of the end zone. No, that's an opportunity that Penn wished they had back.
That was Grace Smith in coverage, leading Snider defense with interceptions this season. Oh, but it looks like an offsides call. So Penn will move a little bit closer to the end zone. Driscoll drops back across midfield and batted away. Again, Grace Smith with a big defensive possession.
At some point in time in this game, for both the Kingman and also Snider, they're going to have to figure out a way to generate some offense through their defense. Already a few pass deflections. If some of these ladies can jump in front of it, be on the receiving end of it, and turn it into points, that may be the difference.
Well, here's fourth down. Driscoll changes directions. Trying to get to the outside, but she is stopped shy of the end zone, and a player down in the field.
And that's Amaya Keeseth. You saw her plant trying to contain Driscoll in the pocket, and it looked like her leg just got stuck underneath her in an uncomfortable position. Hope that the senior is okay.
As you see both teams taking a knee as she gets checked down. Well, the Colts football development team helps recognize, educate, and develop the youth and high school football environment throughout all of Indiana. To learn more about football development opportunities and events, visit colts.com/football development. Well, she gets checked out on the field. Let's go ahead and recap how the beginning of the day started. It was Harrison and Snider who started things off this morning. Snider walking away with a 20-14 victory. Penn also took down Terre Haute South. Final score 30-13. The next two games in the afternoon, it was Lawrence North who came out victorious over Munster, 48-34 the final. And then it was New Prairie who advanced with a win over Warren Central, 37-13. As I mentioned, Lawrence North and New Prairie facing off against each other over on field 3 behind us. As Amaya Keeseth is helped off the field limping. Taking a bad fall, trying to tackle quarterback Quinn Driscoll.
That's just the unfortunate part of the game sometimes. You're out here competing, as we talked about, the first ever flag football tournament here in the state of Indiana. Emotions are high, the desire to go make a play, and the last thing that you're ever even thinking about, nor do you want to happen, is the injury. So feel for Amaya, hope she's okay. But as she already started this game with her hair on fire, I'm sure she is going to be missed.
But a good defensive stop on the opening drive for Snider following the interception. Quick toss to Hurst. Penn defense was all over it.
Two different approaches defensively. When you turned it over to the other side, when Penn was on offense, we see Snider attacking them through the blitz, pressuring the quarterback, flushing Driscoll out of the pocket. When the Kingsmen are now on defense, they're sitting back in coverage, forcing Snider to hurt them with the arm and through the air. And so far it's been working as they've kept him on this side of the 50.
Well, here's Jackson going in the air again. It was almost picked off yet again by Penn. That'll bring up third down.
Once again, that first down line being the next adjacent yellow line, wherever that may be on the field. So as we look down on the field, about 7 or 8 yards to get to that next first down if you're Snider.
Here we go, third down. Jackson looking for options. Gonna take it to the outside, but overthrows her target in Grace Smith. Fourth down.
Had Grace Smith exactly where she wanted her, just Jackson could not get the throw on target, allowing Smith to run under it and potentially make a play.
So it looks like they are going to flip the field and take the punt here on fourth down. Now the team doesn't actually punt, but hopefully to push Penn a little bit further back, as they had some pretty comfortable field position on their opening drive following the interception.
Special teams showing its face in flag football as well, all about flipping the field. Don't give your defense a short field to defend when you can defer to punt it off to the other team and allow your defense to settle into this one as they've already started in backed up territory on their first drive.
Let's see what Penn can do here on their second drive. A little pitch to the outside with room to run, but a good stop by Miley Hurst. That was Logan Rumble, the senior, on the carry.
Some misdirection from the Kingsmen. You see Driscoll sending out some players to the left and then handing it off underneath to the right, going to Logan Rumble, and that's exactly what she did, rumbling for that first down on this offensive possession.
What do you like about the little extra creativity you can bring into the game in flag football?
Absolutely. This is your platform to show everyone that although flag football, there are still some football wrinkles and some competitive spirit going on.
We see the double pass again. Cammie Bauer with the big play. And a first down for the Kingsmen.
Alexis Warner doing a nice job catching the football, understanding how quickly she has to get it to Bauer as Snider and the Panthers are pursuing her on that flag rip, and able to get it to Bauer just in time, and that's back-to-back first downs for the Kingsmen.
Pass midfield for Penn. Looking to get on the scoreboard first here in the semifinal matchup. Pressure coming. Driscoll gets it out. Pass caught by Olivia Dawson. And I know you're supposed to avoid contact in flag football, but sometimes you do get a little mixed up with everyone.
When you get snagged on like Dawson just snagged over everyone, could not avoid the contact. But as you saw, the focus all the way down to the finish of her fall, just some great concentration to haul that one in and maneuver through the traffic.
And also exchanging the flags afterwards as well. Second down for Penn. Driscoll's going for it, and she's got a teammate there, but broken up. Talk about the defense from Snider.
This is just simply staying in phase if you're Ariana Conklin. The receiver had it hauled in, but continued to play through the catch of the offensive receiver. Conklin doing a nice job staying in phase, but also just being a heads-up football player, keeping points off of the board.
Preventing a Penn touchdown. Third down. Driscoll is going to run it. And her flag taken off, but is it just shy of the first down marker? It's Amaya Jackson who took down Driscoll.
How many times have we seen Driscoll just elude the pressure? Miley Hurst is probably one of the faster players on the field, but Driscoll's ability to manipulate her in the pocket, elude her, and get some positive yards while remaining in scoring distance.
And they're going to give them the first down. The handoff, the flip, and flag ripped off. We've seen that play before. Logan Rumble on the carry for the Kingsmen.
This is just an offense that has multiple layers to it. It's not just pass and completion from Driscoll to receivers. It's where is the second person coming behind for that pitch back now that we've seen a few times. So that's just not a creativity wrinkle. That is part of their identity.
This is where the Snider defense came up strong on the opening possession. We'll see if Penn can get in the end zone. Here's Driscoll using her speed, but her flag ripped off short of the goal line by Amira Coomer.
The biggest thing that I see the Snider Panthers have to do is keeping Driscoll in the pocket, not saying don't send pressure, but allow that pressure to come to balance and keep Driscoll, instead of breaking contain, being a playmaker, forcing her to throw the ball and find her targets down the field.
You see the pylon at the top of your screen. That's where Penn's trying to get to, but stops short. Olivia Dawson with the catch, and it's fourth down, but a flag on the field. Officials communicating with head coach Jeremiah Maggart if he wants to accept the penalty. Appears to be a penalty on Snider. So half the distance to the goal for Penn. As you see, the clock still running here under the 10-minute mark in the first half. Can Penn capitalize here? Driscoll with time. Surveying to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Kingsman. It's Alexis Warner who gets Penn on the board first.
Alexis Warner, the same one that got this offensive possession going, was the beneficiary of being a sacrificial lamb for her teammates, and it's rewarded with patience. And she's able to get the first score of this contest. Driscoll finding her in the middle of the teeth of the defense. Nice job by Warner.
They'll have to go for the 2-point conversion. Driscoll. It's good. Pass caught by Cammie Bauer. And it's Penn who strikes first here in the semifinal match.
It's a nice job by Penn on that touchdown drive, staying ahead of the chains the entire way down the field, not getting behind, having those multiple type of schemes in their arsenal to go to get them all the way down in the scoring position. And even when the Panthers made Driscoll a quarterback and made her stand in the pocket and find receivers, she was able to come through and get the first points on the board.
Well, let's see how Snider and the Panthers can respond here. We see Maya Jackson. You see all of her receivers going deep. She's got plenty of time to work with, but she's going to opt for the short pass. And the defense was all over it. That was number 19, Amani Reed, credited with the tackle.
But if you notice, everyone going so far away from Amaya Jackson, really nowhere to maneuver in the middle of the defense on the intermediate route phase for this offense of Snider. So everyone just needs to at least one or two receivers shortening their routes and the depths of it for Jackson to actually give them an opportunity.
And that's a first down, pass caught by Amir Kumar.
It's always nice when the broadcast and the players on the field seem like they're in sync, because that's exactly what I was meaning by Amira Kumar, right there in the middle of the defense, underneath the high safety coverage and over the top of the underneath coverage, and it gets you your first down of the game.
Referees stopping play to adjust the flags. And it's first down for Snider. The handoff. Miley Hurst using that speed, that agility. But her flag taken off by Olivia Dawson. But she's got a first down.
Miley, the same one that has been on the other side on defense trying to get to Driscoll, but this time playing keep away from all the Kingsmen defenders, does her nice hop in and hop out, accelerating for another first down for the Panthers.
Hurst with a ton of speed. She's also the point guard on the Snider women's basketball team. Head coach Reggie Tharp, the coach of that team as well as his flag football team. Jackson trying to facilitate and nearly picked off. Good efforts offensively by Olivia Dawson. It's third down.
It's all about the rhythm. By the time Jackson gets to the back of her drop with this zone coverage from the Kingsmen, that ball should be coming out right now. But the more you allow that defensive zone coverage to get set, the more they can key in on the football. As you see, another tip ball potentially leading to an interception opportunity.
Three receivers lining up on the near side. Jackson had a teammate open, but just a little bit out of the reach of Grace Smith.
Panthers getting exactly what they wanted. Grace Smith trying to get her involved as they did on their last offensive possession. Continue to have to look her way as she has been open early and often in this first half.
Jackson with the short pass, connects with Claire Roth, who's immediately taken down by Ariel Gunther. And there's fourth down. We'll see if Snider will go for it here. Sitting at about midfield. They opted to punt on their last possession to give Penn some difficult field position, but it looks like they're going to go for it here. Jackson has thought about a few passes. She's going to go deep and nearly caught in and out of the hands of Zoe AK. That would have been a first down.
A lot of patience from Amaya Jackson, allowing the routes to develop, getting the defense off of their spot. Had AK in the end zone, toward the end zone, and just couldn't connect with her. Those are the missed opportunities that in this state championship game, in pursuit of a state championship, you have to execute those.
Well, the Penn defense has been stellar so far, keeping the Panthers off the board. And they'll regain possession just past midfield. They only have a few yards to go for the first down marker. We see Driscoll in this offense again with that double pitch. This time the defense was all over it. Miley Hurst ripping off the flat.
Every first play for the Kingsmen has been the same type of misdirection action into a lateral pitch into the second runner, just trying to get the defense flowing and moving a little bit before they identify how they want to attack.
Closing in on that 2-minute timeout. It is a running clock until we get to that 2-minute mark. Pressure coming at Driscoll, and she connects downfield for a big first down. Alexis Warner with the catch.
Anytime the Kingsmen have needed a big play, it's been the Driscoll and Warner connection that has gotten them through the storm.
This Penn offense has been moving in this first half, and they have a 7-0 lead over Snider as we hit our 2-minute timeout.
Give me 3! Why are you here?
Knowing that, the women's involvement and as well as Flag's involvement in the game that we love is going to continue to grow and grow.
Now there are 17 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
Did you know that 1 of every 5 adults in the U.S. experience a mental health condition every year? It's important to know they are common and treatable. In the sports world, mental health conditions impact 10 players on your favorite NFL team, 5 players on your favorite Major League Baseball roster, and 1 player in every NBA starting lineup. Mental health affects all of us and is nothing to be ashamed of. It's important to understand. It's important to listen. It's important to talk about.
2 minutes left here in the first half between Snider and Penn. It's the Kingsmen with a 7-0 lead over the Panthers, and with a chance to score before the halftime break.
Anytime the Panthers have put the ball into Driscoll's hand, forcing her to make a decision, Driscoll has done nothing but come through and execute it at a high level, being a runner, being a playmaker with the football in her hands, finding Warner for the first touchdown of the game. She's been an assassin in the backfield so far for the Kingsmen. I expect nothing less as they continue to approach another scoring opportunity.
And this is a Penn team who averages 42 points per game, as we said at the top of the broadcast. But Snider with an opportunity to hold them to 7 here could be huge, especially keeping it at arm's distance in the second half. Let's see if the Penn Kingsmen can execute in these final 2 minutes. Driscoll, pass off the fingertips and falls incomplete. Intended to her favorite target this afternoon, Alexis Warner.
In addition to those points that they've already scored for the Kingsmen, you talk about outscoring opponents 120-18 in sectionals. That's scoring a lot of points and letting up very little points. So them dominating so far in this one with another chance to go score is pretty on par for what they have already done to get to this point.
Second down. Receivers trying to find someone, and they do! Penn in the end zone yet again. And it's Marin Horvath who scores the second touchdown in the semifinals for Penn.
I think Horvath and Conklin both surprised that ball was thrown where it was thrown, but by the time Horvath turned around, she realized how close she was to go get more points, turned it upfield, and cashed in.
Trying to tack on another point here. Minute 30 on the clock. Driscoll to the corner. Got up and got it. Logan Rumble. 14-0 Penn lead.
Rumble doing a nice job, gets into no man's land in the back of the end zone, provides a little bit of movement, allowing Driscoll to find her, and then high points the football and gets in for the conversion. The Kingsmen rolling thus far in this semifinal matchup.
We're calling all 5 and 14-year-olds. Colts Flag Football Leagues, presented by Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital, offers an accessible and developmental opportunities for those wanting to learn the game of flag football. With over 20 locations across Indiana, visit colts.com/flag to learn more about the leagues near you and upcoming opportunities for Colts Flag football participants. The reverse. Defense all over it. Catherine Booker with the stop.
One thing that it's worth noting, the Kingsmen having enough to spell some offensive players as the defense travels out onto the field, and that not being the same reality for the Panthers of Snider, so fatigue may very well be in the equation as we continue on.
Jackson got the ball off quick and connected with her receiver, Amira Coomer, for the first down.
Still plenty of time, 53 seconds left on the clock in this first half for the Panthers to go down and get some points and feel good about this first half despite the dominance from the Kingsmen.
Jackson trying to find an option, and she's going to overthrow it. Intended for Zoe Ake. Clock stops at 36 seconds, but a decent amount of time went off the clock on that down.
Good amount of time before Jackson even thought about trying to find a receiver downfield. Everyone still feeling so far away from Maya Jackson, the sophomore, trying to do the best that she can, but it's going to need some help from her receivers, making their way back to her, providing an outlet.
Jackson just a little too far out of the range of Grace Smith. That'll bring up third down. Good coverage from the Kingsmen. Trying to prevent any points from Snider here in the first half. And it's picked off right into the hands of Catherine Booker. Caught everyone off guard.
Even everyone on the sideline for the Kingsmen, you're already in great position, have enough time to get a stop and potentially get some points, but just leave it into Booker's hands to be the defender that tips the ball to herself and gets the ball back in even better field position for the offense to still go for some more points before this half goes final.
Celebrations on the sidelines because now Penn has an opportunity to extend their lead with less than 20 seconds left. Time's coming down. Driscoll to the end zone and batted away. Great coverage from AK. And there's 1 second on the clock.
Just a lone second, as you said, Kelsey, to get one more play off. Driscoll trying to make sure that what she sees checks out once, twice, and 3 times before she let the football go. Don't mind the decision making because she still gives her team an opportunity at the end of this first half to get some more points with just that 1 second on the clock.
Last play for Penn here in half number 1. Driscoll with plenty of time, trying to find an open teammate, going for the end zone, and caught for the touchdown as time expires. Maren Horvath, touchdown number 2 of the game.
All about staying alive as the play goes on. Driscoll looking to be a playmaker. Horvath goes up and makes the catch despite Logan Rumble getting in the way, thinking that that football was actually for her. Great concentration from Horvath, hauling it in. The Kingsmen in striking distance and connected.
And looking for one more. They get it. They convert. Olivia Dawson with the catch, and it is a 21 lead for Penn at the halftime break. Well, talking about shifting momentum towards the end of the first half, and suddenly Penn is up 21-0 over Snider at the halftime break. We'll have highlights and more coming up next. Stick with us on Colts.com.
GSSI profile complete.
How much sweat are you willing to lose? Because when you do that, you can surpass the hype. You can inspire generation after generation. You can compete against anything. So how much are you willing to lose? That's how you know. Hey now, say now. How much you willing to win? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
You guys know who 99 is for the Colts? Yeah! What's his name?
I want to be able to inspire our youths in the community and just having those interactions with those kids. I mean, it could go a long way.
You want to tackle me? It might take all of you guys to try to take
Growing
me
up,
down.
we never had the opportunity to have a lot of professional athletes, still camps, and I just wanted to be able to pay it forward each and every year. And you consistently see some familiar faces from over the past 5 years that we've done this, and obviously having a bunch of my teammates come out and support and create those interactions for them as well. I mean, it's been amazing, and giving back to community is, that's what Mr. Ursay is that, One thing that I really did love, flag football. I mean, that game continues to grow. But that's actually initially how I started playing football. And going into the 2028 Olympics, flag football is going to be one of the sports competing for a gold medal. So just seeing that part of the game grow, and it's amazing. It's amazing for football and, obviously for the kids that love playing football.
1, 2, 3, go!
Back inside Grant Park here in Westfield, Indiana for the semifinals of the Girls Flag Football State Championships presented by the Indianapolis Colts. Kelsey Casper along with Jared Thomas as Penn has a 21-0 lead over the Snider Panthers at halftime. And Jared, just your overall impressions from the dominant performance we saw from Penn in the first half.
It doesn't matter if we're playing flag football or we transition to last night and it's the high school football. That football is the most important thing. And what I saw was Snider gifting the Kingsmen 2 possessions, 2 interceptions thrown, leading to 14 points ultimately. So when you really break this game down with no interceptions, no blemishes on your record, as far as in that department, this game is really only 7-0. I'm sure you feel a lot better if you're Snider going into halftime down 7-0 instead of 21, but that's the penalty that you pay when you give the other team the ball like they did with the Kingsmen.
A lot of defense turning into offense as we go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. It was Quinn Driscoll, the quarterback, with a few touchdown passes, but really it was the defense, like you mentioned, to kick things off.
Macy Little coming up with a high-point interception. If you remember, it was a play or two before that where the defense had an opportunity to go for an interception and instead elected to do the pass deflection, but Little not doing the same and being a playmaker, intercepting it, getting her team the football, and this is where the offensive flurry started.
And Penn on the next drive just continued to work their way downfield offensively, and you see connecting in the end zone to Werner for the first score.
That was a target that Driscoll liked to find early and often in that first half, and it continued throughout the entirety of the half as well.
We saw some good plays, especially from Miley Hurst, running back, using her speed, but Snider just unable to get downfield as we see the second touchdown. Driscoll connecting with Horvath for touchdown number 2. And then it was this one, Logan Rumble for the extra point.
And then it was this play right here, Catherine Booker, their senior. You watched how the sideline reacted to when she got that interception, a critical point in the game, 21 seconds left on the clock. The play before that touchdown pass took 20 seconds, and it was just 1 second left before the Kingsmen were able to punch in another score before the first half was in the books.
Momentum quickly shifting entirely to Penn towards the end of that first half, and that is where they have their 21-0 lead over Snider. About 30 seconds left in the halftime break as we get ready to kick off second half action. Lawrence North and New Prairie facing off against each other. Behind us on field number 3, the winner of these 2 games will face off in the state championship. First one ever in girls flag football in the state of Indiana. That one right here on Colts.com at 6 o'clock. So lots on the line here for both of these teams fighting for that final spot. But Snider now, he got 24 minutes to work with here. What do you want to see more of from Snider in the second half?
I think them just being connected offensively as we get a look into the other semifinal matchup with Lawrence North being up 10 as that second half just got kicked off. Kelsey, you and I will have the championship game here in less than an hour and a half, so excited for that one as we get going for the second half of our matchup. But honestly, if you're Snider, I'm really just looking for everyone to stay connected to Amaya Jackson. Receivers just going way too far, burying themselves into the back of the defense for the Kingsmen, really providing no outlet for them to exploit this zone defense that Penn has been showing. So if they can find some ways to attack the middle underneath coverage just over the top and eyes of the underneath coverage by the linebackers in the middle, I think they can have some fortune offensively.
Well, they'll have to start on defense here in the second half. Penn with the ball to kick things off here. 24 minutes left in the semifinal. They fake the second pitch. Cammie Bauer on the carry for a short gain and just short of the first down marker.
As I talked about in the first half, that is head coach Jeremiah Maggart starting every possession with a run play. Running the football, getting the defense's eyes in the backfield, still presenting a threat to run, and then getting into the passing game.
And Driscoll will get into the pass game here. Quick pass to Olivia Dawson before her flag is ripped off by Amaya Jackson. Second down. And you can see on the sidelines, this is a Penn team with lots of players, 25 players dressing. And talking to Jeremiah Maggard, the head coach, he had 42 players try out to be on the first ever Penn girls flag football team. Impressive turnout. Lots of young women wanting to learn the sport of football and be on this team that has a shot at going to a state final. With time, connecting, Lauren Petrus with the reception. Had to go back and get it before her flag's ripped down.
The turnout that Coach Maggard had for his crew as far as numbers with the tryouts, I think is pretty hand in hand for what the Indianapolis Colts were trying to do with this whole concept of getting more education, getting more opportunities for these young ladies to just learn and play the great game of football. And I think it's been a success story thus far with some more exciting play to come up.
Batted away. Jackson on the defensive end, forcing a third down.
But if you're Amaya Jackson, those are the plays that it's not just good enough to bat it down. Go be a playmaker. Instead of batting it down, intercept that football because you had nothing but green turf in front of you for potentially your first points of the game for your team. With that running clock going, any opportunity you get, have to take advantage.
Third down. Going deep. And nearly picked off, and a flag comes flying in. They're going to call pass interference on Snider.
One of the key components of this flag football game is minimizing the amount of contact. Anywhere on the field, official felt like there got too much level of physicality and have to stay true and call it how you see it.
Tough penalty for Snider as Penn inches closer to the first down marker, and it is first down. Only about 7 yards to go. Here's the reverse. Bauer on the carry, flag ripped off. Grace Smith with the stop.
From one side of the field to the other, Grace Smith, as you see her run across the formation, the pursuit inside out to take the proper angle to get that flag. That's outstanding effort right there from Smith. Hasn't been able to find any receptions for some formidable yards on offense, but doing her part defensively.
Driscoll patient. Going to the outside. And it's caught! Olivia Dawson, after the tip, able to secure it for a big first down.
I mentioned it just a few plays ago, Amaya Jackson going up and trying to catch that football, and I think she was trying to be a defender and get up with the interception. But Olivia Dawson, the second effort, the concentration to then haul that in after it was tipped up in the air. She's on fire, along with the other Kingsmen so far for this offense.
Stack on the left side of the field. Here's the carry. Can she make it into the end zone? It's a touchdown for Penn. Logan Rumble with the carry to extend the Kingsmen's lead.
All it really means for head coach Jeremiah Maggard when I say he elects to run the football is it has to be a threat for plays like that. Kingsman doing a nice job. Logan Rumble just getting and outflanking the entire Snider defense, as you can see. Just the burst, the flag just not even in reach, outruns everyone, makes it all the way into the end zone for another score for the Kingsmen.
First rushing touchdown of the game for Penn. Good coverage from Snider. And it's caught and brought in. Extra point for Cammie Bauer. And it's a 28-0 lead for Penn.
Some serious chemistry going on between Driscoll and all of her receivers, not afraid to spread the wealth to everyone because everyone touches the football, which is exactly why they are up 28-0 in this second half.
It looks like a timeout being called on the field. Well, the IHSAA and Indianapolis Colts have teamed up to highlight the top high school officiating crews in Indiana this season. Congratulations to Mark Hopper's crew for being named the September Crew of the Month for Indiana. To learn more about IHSAA officiating, visit ihsaa.org/becoming-official. Girls flag football also looking to become an official IHSAA sport. Right now, girls flag football is an emerging sport. They had 78 schools competing this season across the state of Indiana. This is their first ever postseason. They started this league 2 years ago with just 8 teams across the state. In 2024, they expanded to 27, and now this year, 78. Inching closer on their road to 100 and inching closer to being a fully sanctioned sport by the IHSAA.
That threshold being 100 schools must compete while in emerging sport status. So as you said, sitting at 78, just looking to get 22 more schools to be IHSAA sanctioned. And I'm sure when everyone turns on these state championship weekend highlights and game film, they're going to be another team that gets added to the list and finally gets them over that 100 team threshold.
You can tell and you can see the growth just in the numbers from schools competing. Certainly it won't be too long until this is a fully sanctioned sport. Across the middle, pass caught. Jackson connecting with Kumar for a first down.
That's exactly what I was looking for Snider to do. Not a lot of waiting and delayed trying to get the ball down the field for Jackson, but hit your target as soon as you get to the back of your drop, and the route's being matched with that.
To the outside, it's another first down. Caught by AK, and Snider's moving downfield.
It's all about the rhythm in the pocket from Jackson. As you can see, what we saw in the first half was a lot more delayed reactions, delayed decisions, getting in the back of her drop and then taking forever and a day to get it to her receivers. On this drive, not so much. Catch, snap, get the ball out.
Here comes the pressure. Jackson's going to have to use her legs. She finds some room before her flag gets taken off, and a penalty flag comes down on the field. Jackson was knocked to the ground.
Maddie Thompson for the Kingsmen, a bit confused as Jackson's flag was pulled well before, as you can see, that flag being picked up, just because that flag was pulled well before contact ever really took place. So there was really no need for a penalty for excessive physical contact.
Here's Jackson, another quick throw, and another pass caught. Again, it's Kumar. She leads this team in receiving yards this season. And this is the closest Snider has been all game to finding the end zone.
Coach Reggie Tharp saw some things that could be better in the second half. They've now executed on it, and there's still plenty of time left in this. Just have to punch this in for points.
And Jackson snap. Haley Savannah was all over it.
Didn't send any pressure in the first half. This time in this second half, back-to-back blitzes by the Kingsmen, and Savannah gets in for the sack back behind the line of scrimmage.
Quick pass. Kumar again. Jackson connecting well with her favorite target. It's third down. Snider needing to find the end zone. Here's the snap. Pressure comes. And pass just a little bit too behind Kumar that time. It's 4th down.
It looked like Amaya Jackson threw that a little bit quicker than she really wanted to, trying to find the receiver that she's connected well with on this drive. But she lived to see another down, trying to get a score for the first points of the game.
They'll go to the corner of the end zone, and pass incomplete. Zoe AK, the intended target, just can't hang on for the score.
By far the best drive for the Panthers. Got in rhythm early and often, kept riding that rhythm throughout the entirety of that drive, unable to score points. But if they can get a stop and get that rhythm going back again, I think they like their chances to get some points on the board.
Maddie Thompson in coverage for Penn on that play. But certainly, like you said, that was the best we have seen from Snider in this game. Trailing 28-0 here. Can their defense go to work against this dominant Kingsman offense? Driscoll, short pass to Warner. Makes a defender miss, and she gets the first down.
Warner with back-to-back touchdown grabs in that first half. Hasn't needed to step into the forefront so far in the second half because you have so many other weapons that you can go to if you are quarterback Quinn Driscoll, but goes back to one of her favorite receivers, getting another positive play on first down and the first play of the drive.
On the handoff, flag ripped off by Layla Edwards. Under 15 minutes left to play here in the second half. It's a pretty tight game across the field. Lawrence North with a 16-12 lead over New Prairie. They have less than 10 minutes to work with. The winner on that field will play the winner here in the state championship following this game. Driscoll's pass is caught by Cammie Bauer, who seemed to at the last second put her hands out for the grab.
Wasn't even looking at the football, Kelsey. Surprised herself that she even caught it. Driscoll with the ultimate trust. Throw your hands out there if you're Cammie Bauer and be an athlete.
You mentioned athlete. These young women have been after it in the weight room, specifically talking with the Penn head coach, Jeremiah Maggart. He said he's proud of the way that they get after it in the weight room. They're lifting, they're getting stronger, they're becoming athletes, also multi-sport athletes. Driscoll using her legs. Taken down by Jackson. And that'll bring up 4th down. Running clock is ticking.
Coach Maggart electing to take the delay of game to push that field position back, technically on the punt. Just playing the field position game, something that is very familiar for those that pay attention to the outdoor game. Sometimes it's better to take the yards through penalties so you work with more on your punt. Same thing here, just the punt not going through the air, just the referees traveling down to spot it manually.
So 11 minutes left in this semifinal matchup between Snider and Penn. Panthers have yet to find the end zone, but we just saw their best drive of the game on their last possession. We'll see if they can execute here with the clock winding down in the second half. spot the ball. Just about 1 yard to go for the first down. Here's the pressure. Jackson up in the air and nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of Macy Little. What would have been her second INT of the day.
At that point, we would have had to call her Macy Ballhawk because that would have been number 2 on the day. She saw all of the grass in front of her, the turf, and was looking forward to turning another interception into a massive return.
Second down, about a yard to go. Pressure comes. Jackson's going to use her legs to get the first down and a little bit more. As she goes crashing into the Kingsmen.
Seeing Jackson turn into more of a runner in this half simply because there's been more pressure dialed up by the Kingsmen. And I think Jackson has done a nice job eluding it, showing her athleticism from the quarterback position.
Quick release, and pass is caught for another first down. Amir Coomer with the reception, and it's back-to-back first down, similar to what we saw in the previous drive.
Quick decisions, don't have to think about it much, but just Jackson delivering a dot to Coomer, allowing her to still catch it and become a runner.
Jackson across the middle of the field, and this time Little has it. Spins and taken down by Jackson. But Macy Little, or what did you call her, Macy Ballhog?
Macy Ballhog.
Second INT of the day.
Anytime that football goes up in the middle of the field, actually anywhere on the field, expect Macy to be barreling down on the football, is almost able to spin out of the flag, taking attempt and turn it into points. But Macy Little showing the skill set once again.
Three interceptions from this Penn defense this afternoon. Earlier today, Penn defeated Terre Haute South 30-13, and they're looking to shut out Snider here in the semifinals and secure their spot, the first ever girls flag football state championships. 7:50 left to go. Pressure comes on Driscoll, and flag ripped off by Grace Smith.
Shows you the type of challenge that you're up against when you're going against the Kingsmen and all of the weapons that Driscoll has to get the football to, because this is a Snider defense that was only allowing 6 points per game on defense. And the Kingsmen scored 7 points very early into the first half, and it's been an onslaught ever since. So just a bit of a different challenge than what the Snider Panthers have seen the rest of the season here today against the Kingsmen.
Driscoll connects with her receiver, Olivia Dawson, cutting across the middle of the field. That'll bring up third down. About 14 yards to go for Penn. Flag is thrown. Appears to be a penalty on the offense.
Delay a game, not false start. This signal there from the official, but this official crew doing a nice job cleaning the actual call up.
Here's the snap, third down. A lot of room to go. Driscoll not going to get far. Good coverage again from Grace Smith. Fourth down.
Grace Smith just all over the field for the Panthers defensively. Her pursuit to the ball carrier time and time again. She's collected a lot of flags here today in this semifinal matchup.
She certainly has. And Snider will call a timeout. That'll stop the clock at about 5:25. Again, it is a running clock until the final 2 minutes of the game. Snider, a second-year program, and talking with head coach Reggie Tharp before the game, he said year one was basically just trial and error, getting through it, but certainly having an extra year under your belt gives you a little bit of an advantage compared to a lot of these programs who are just starting fresh this season. But he said this year, a lot of it was just adjusting to the rules, getting these young women comfortable playing the game of football, so they got that settled, and that was certainly the biggest adjustment going into year 2 of the program, was just figuring it all out. A lot of newness for this program.
And despite what's gone on for them thus far in today's semifinal matchup, when you make it this far, you obviously did something correct. So just a huge tip of the cap to Coach Tharp and his staff, getting those young ladies ready for the moment today, because when it's the first of anything, as we already talked about, there's going to be a bevy of emotions that you're going to feel. And I think they've done a nice job adjusting to that. It's just sometimes you meet a better team or a team that executes more on a day that matters the most. And I think that's the only thing that's separating them from playing some of their better ball here today and what they've done this season.
And certainly making this far in the state tournament spreads the good word around Snider and their program, probably encouraging some other young women to come out for the team next year and grow their numbers. Good speed from Miley Hurst as she gets the first down.
7 players on the field, and when you look over to their sideline, they don't even have as many substitutions. So when you think about the numbers that Coach Maggard talked about he having for all the tryouts for the Kingsmen compared to what Coach Tharp has, there is a difference in numbers, which you feel like has to impact the actual total outcome and performance of your team as you go further in this tournament.
And like I mentioned, a lot of these young women multi-sport athletes, we will see a lot of these Snider players on the basketball court in just about a month, as Reggie Tharp is also the head coach for the girls basketball team, a team that has won sectionals 4 years in a row. Jackson's going deep with it and overthrows her intended target of Smith. Again, still a close game on the other field. They've got less than 2 minutes to go. Score stays the same. It's a 4-point lead for Lawrence. And Hurst's flag is ripped down, short of the line of gain.
Before Miley Hurst could even think about getting downhill for just the 1 yard that they needed for the first down, there was just an array of Kingsmen defenders waiting for her at the first down to gain yard line, and there was no way they were going to leave where their feet were planted without Hurst's flag, and that's exactly what they did, creating a turnover on downs, giving their offense the ball back.
Penn flips the field. Can they tack on a few extra points here with the clock running down in the semifinal game? Driscoll to the end zone, just out of reach of her intended target of Cammie Bauer.
And if you didn't see, that ball dropped right in the bread basket for Bauer. Just was not able to connect her eyes with the football, tracking it in the air to make the adjustment. But what a throw from Driscoll. As you can see here on the back end of the replay, that ball drops right in the arms of Bauer. It's pinpoint precision there from Driscoll.
The handoff, the pitch, and flag ripped down by Hurst. That was Bauer on the carry. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Well, Penn has run away with this semifinal game. They are up 28-0 over Snider, looking to secure their spot in the state championships.
He's got one man to beat. He may go 10, 5, touchdown.
We said this out.
Rainbow down the right sideline. Underneath that is Allen Pierce. Touchdown. That pass is intercepted by Kenny Moore. Josh Downs, touchdown, I-N-D-Y.
Caitlin, I'm here to show you all the best places in Indy, like the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital ER.
Great place to go for a fever, am I right?
Or a common cold. Get it? Like a common cold? Tough crowd.
Can I have an autograph?
Of course.
Caitlin, it kind of seems like you already know your way around.
A little, but my name's not in the hospital yet.
Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, a new and expanded ER to serve more of Indiana's kids.
Colt, like cold, that's the joke, right?
Back from the 2-minute warning, Penn with the ball looking to tack on some extra points here in the semifinal game against Snider. They boast a 28-0 lead over the Panthers, as they has just been nothing short of dominant here in their performance in Westfield, Indiana at Grant Park. The first ever girls flag football state championships presented by the Indianapolis Colts. And it appears the Kingsmen are going to advance to the state championship game, taking place right after this one at 6 o'clock. Still waiting to hear who they will be facing, whether it will be Lawrence North or New Prairie. Tight game over on the field behind us. Lawrence North with the small lead over New Prairie. As we get a look into this game, 16-12 with 26 seconds left to go. We'll see if Lawrence North can hang on. Penn, on the other hand, running away with this one. On third down, Driscoll looking for her teammate, but it's picked off. Intercepted by number 5, Amir Kumar. And a positive note for the Snider defense.
I'm sure it helps if you're coach Jeremiah Maggard, where the first mistake that you really make in this one is when the game is already decided. I felt like Quentin Driscoll just threw that one up, hoping that Olivia Dawson was going to come down with it, but not before Coomer could track that one and get the ball flipped back to her team. But nonetheless, the Kingsmen doing a nice job outside of one play. I'd take it too if I were up 28-0 in deciding fashion with just under 2 minutes to go.
And since we're under 2 minutes, clock will stop. Pass is incomplete, intended for Coomer. Great turnout here inside Grant Park. The semifinal matchup. There were 4 games earlier this morning. Munster fell to Lawrence North. Warren Central lost to New Prairie. But 8 teams advancing from sectionals taking place all across the state, getting to come here, be a part of this fantastic facility by the Indianapolis Colts. The pass is caught and hit hard. Flag comes flying. Grace Smith with the grab. But she was hit hard by the defense.
Once again, trying to keep all of the physicality at bay as we go throughout these flag football games and this semi-state matchup between the two of these teams. And it looks like the flag was picked up as an automatic first down for the Panthers.
Jackson surveying her options. Moving the offense, and pass is caught. Zoe AK down the sideline is going to find the end zone for the first score for the Panthers in this matchup.
Amaya Jackson doing some traffic directing as you saw her telling AK, hey, move out to your left just a little bit. They caught the intercepting getter Macy Little sleeping, trying to attack the football, but AK turned just in time, kept possession, and scurried for the touchdown. First points for Snider. 1:15 left to go.
For the extra point. Pass caught by Kumar, but her flag ripped down just short of the goal line. So 28-6 the score with 1:15 remaining in this game, but good momentum from Snider, ending this game on a positive note, ending this season journey with a score in the end zone.
You felt like it was only a matter of time, the way they attacked offensively these few possessions that they've had in the second half, that they were going to find the end zone. I know they would have liked it to happen about 14 minutes ago, but that not being the case, you have to live with what happened in this one and what just happened, but at least you got on the board. Has to be a welcome sight for all these seniors in the first official state tournament here at Grand Park and what they've been able to do this season. A welcome sight for all those in attendance for the Panthers.
AK also had a touchdown touchdown catch in game one as well. She's going home with 2 scores. Driscoll gets the snap and hands it off. A first down run for Harper Rumble. .47 seconds left on the clock. As clock starts running. Again, handing off to Rumble on the ground as both of her flags get ripped down. And I think that will do it. As the clock winds down, it's Penn who is heading to the first ever girls flag football state championship game. 28-6, the final score over Snider. Jared, your thoughts on this Penn performance as they secured their spot in the championship?
3 interceptions in their favor. If you're the Kingsmen, turnovers usually, when you win that battle, you have a great opportunity to win. That's exactly what they were able to do. 3 interceptions, 3 scores. That is a direct reflection of that score you see on your screen, 28-6. And 21 of those points came off of turnovers and what their defense was able to do against this Snider Panther offense. Congratulations to those young ladies and to Coach Jeremiah Maggart.
And congratulations to Snider on a fantastic season making this far. But it's Penn who's still dancing in search of their first ever state title. Well, we thank you for tuning in to the semifinal match of the Girls Flag Football State Championships presented by the Indianapolis Colts. My partner, Jared Thomas, and myself, Kelsey Casper, will be on the call for the championship right after this at 6 o'clock Eastern, where Penn will either take on Lawrence North or New Prairie for the state title right here on Colts.com.
Before the game, stop by American Family Insurance Touchdown Town, a free pregame and entertainment area for fans of all ages. Located on the north end of Lucas Oil Stadium along South Street. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.